All right, Hines.
Yes.
Hines, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Greenwood, Mississippi.
Greenwood.
I grew up in Greenwood, Mississippi.
And tell me about your childhood. You grew up with both your parents?
No, my father he got messed up in the war, in World War II, right? He got messed up in the war, and he had complication from that, and he died at the Veteran Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee.
How old were you?
I was 1 year old.
Oh.
I was one.
Sorry.
When he died, right? And my mother, she died when I was in the fifth grade. I was going on 10 years old, and she died of natural, she got a natural death. So I raised by my aunt, family members, one man, Aunt Mary. We were raised by her,
How would you describe your childhood?
My childhood was good. I went to Catholic school, and my auntie had taken us out of the public school because I was failing in my math, and she shot us all to I had a sister going to Catholic school anyway, so they shot me to the Catholic school. But I grew up. My childhood was good because in Greenwood, Mississippi, in Mississippi at that time is racism. You got this side of the track, that side of the track. Well, I got auntie. One of my aunties, she got two kids, had two boys. They it was like my mother age, right? My cousins, and they happened to be by a white guy, right? She got two half breeds, and they and old man, his name was Crocker. Old man Crocker, he owned land, he owned a plantation and all that. So they had what they want to have. My auntie had owned a black hotel in Greenwood, Mississippi, right? When anybody come there, family black, and they couldn't stay nowhere else, but they had to stay in the Hotel Plaza, which I helped, run, and all that, growing up and everything. I met growing up, I met a lot of blues players, singers and stuff.
You're on the Mississippi River there?
Mississippi River, that's a little further from me. We got the Yazoo River and that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I grew up, like I said, I had a damn good childhood. My folks, they were well off. I didn't have no problem, growing up, mental problem, abuse, any of that, none of that,
That's great.
I grew up during the civil rights movement. And if anybody familiar with the civil rights movement, Greenwood, Mississippi was a hotbed. That's where you had that white council. The white council, they supported that racism, the Klan, and all that. Is you familiar with Mega Evans, the one that got shot by Beckwith during the 60s? Well, anyway, Beckwith, the white guy that shot him, that killed him, is from my hometown. When they back in them days, a white couldn't get convicted for killing a black. So when he got freed, they had big banners over the city. Whack him home, whack him home. So you can imagine how we blacks felt. They had a big celebration. But like I said, I didn't have no problem growing up. My childhood, was good. Like I said, got this hotel they was running. And I grew up. My auntie, my auntie that owned the hotel, she just snatched me. Had me go with her. There's a ride with her, collect rent, stuff like that. And like I said, I met a lot of singers, blues players. Cause my cousin, he booked a lot of them. And they threw dances and stuff like that, concerts. So I was right there. But as I grew up, I don't know, the city, that type of integration and that type of living, it just went for me. Some guy telling me that I got to go. So at a young age, at 17, I signed up for the Army. I signed up, and I went. When I went into the military, it was my MOS with 11 Bravo. 11 Bravo is infantry. My cousin and my brother, they went off on me about being, infantry. But I had made a statement, say if I do go to Vietnam, I want to go in there with some action. I don't want to go to be a clerk or a truck driver, or a cook. I want to see some action. When I got over there and seen the action, boy, I wish I was a cook. I stayed in Vietnam for about 18 months. I had a lot of homeboys that got killed, and I seen a lot of stuff in Vietnam, did a lot of stuff, things that we hardly ever talk about, because a lot of stuff, like we can sit there, we can have a conversation. You say, "Oh, he bullshitting," you know, but it's, you know, it's real stuff, you know, and shit. And like I turned 18 in Fort Polk, Louisiana. I turned 19 in Vietnam. You know, I was a youngster, you know, and then when I got over there seeing all this, you know, seeing this all this death, you know, it was a trip, you know, it messed me up in the mind. That's the first time I used drugs. I never used drugs. I didn't grow up around drugs. You know, when I got to Vietnam, I started, you know, using drugs. You know, and it had an effect, you know. But then
Heroin?
it was opium. Mm-hmm. They had heroin, but I was out there in the field, in the jungles, right? I'm out there fighting, so we not back there. You know, we had the contact to get the heroin, right? We get the opium, right? And we smoked, you know. We smoked, some guy, they shot it, but I couldn't see shooting it. I smoked it, you know, and stuff, you know. And, when, you know, like I said, hardest, man, but you need something, right? Some people can go through it, some can't. Sometimes, you know, you need something, you know, to ease your mind. You know, going out there, see, you know, I've been in some shit that when I come back, you know, come back out, right? And come back to the main base, you know, I'm sitting down there tripping, you know, man, you know, you go out, you got 30 guys, and you lose 9 of them. You know, it's a trip, you know. I experienced, like, we was on patrol one day, and we had a sergeant that I didn't like him, you know, because I got busted. He had taken my position, so I didn't like him. And we went out one day, and he was all excited, you know, and all this right talking. I didn't want to hear that shit. But anyway, we walked into an ambush, right? We walked into a U-shaped ambush, you know, and as we fighting and stuff, he come running over there, you know, by us, right? Come running, man, do you see that? Do you see that? You know, I almost got hit. You know, so it's like, I'm standing like this, right? I'm standing like this. He come right beside me. You know what I'm saying? He was on this side. That's right. He's standing right here, right? And he talking. You know, man, do you see that? Do you see that? And I look. I mean, I don't want to hear that shit. And I turned to my gunner, right? My machine gunner, right? I said, come on, man, let's get away from this. Man, this on God, the truth. No sooner I did this, man, somebody got shot right in the head. No sooner, I mean, he's standing right here, man. You know, no sooner I step, boom, I look, oh my God. You know, that's traumatizing.
Yeah.
You know, that's a trip, you know. And, you know, like, we had ran into a lot. We were doing ambushes ourselves. You know, the company that I work with, that's what we did. We went on patrol. We set up, you know, and we set up ambushes. You know, but you know, and it take a heart. You know, you got to, you know, the transfer. You know, you got to be built a certain way. You know, that's to shoot a man. You know what I'm saying? Here come a man walking down the street, boom, boom. But over there you learn, you know, they put that in you. It's like growing up. Like I said, growing up life didn't mean shit, you know? If someone step on your shoe, you went, bam, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Growing up life, you know? But when I went to Vietnam, you know, I was around my granddad and my grandmama and all that when they died, you know? But I don't know what, it just, when I went there, man, it was just a certain kind of death, you know what I'm saying? I saw death, you know, righteous, you know. I'm talking to you right now, all of a sudden you dead, boom, like that. And, you know, that made me change my whole life, like appreciate life. You know, you look around life, it's beautiful, you know, whatever circumstance that we're living under, life is still, it's beautiful, you know what I'm saying, to live, you know. And I learned to respect life. You know, you just don't take nobody's life for the hell up, you know, for some bullshit, you know. I learned how to respect life, you know. And I left Vietnam and went back to Mississippi. And like I said, I grew up the area I came in the '60s, right? You know, there was so much racism there. You know, it was pathetic. You know, like I said, it was so much. You know, it was it was a trip I couldn't stay. You know, so I went back. I grew up in St. Louis too. You know, so I went to St. Louis. You know, with my sister, and then I stayed there about a year, and I came out here. You know, I got into school. You know, and I was working in the juvenile hall and all that. But I had a problem. You know, I had a problem that I didn't know. You know, I was suffering from a problem that I didn't know I had. You know, because I be doing all right. Then all of a sudden, I go back to the drugs. Like I said, I never used drugs. I was in Viet Nam, you know, and all of a sudden, I go back to these drugs. So when I went out to the VA, and started getting treatment for it, I found out, what the problem was that for some reason, that's where they take me back to the jungles of Vietnam. You know, if I come out here, right, and I start having problems and stuff, I go back to use the drug. You know, it take me back to Vietnam, you know, because, like I said, I got a serious case of the PTSD. I be standing out here and it started raining and it take me back to the monsoon season. I can be out here and the helicopter can fly by, and it take me back. It's a trip, I had job working at the VA, working at the Pacific Phone Company and stuff, But like I said, I run into a brick wall. For some reason, I go back, I go back using. And what it is, I feel like I left something in Vietnam. Like I said, I turned 18, I turned 19 in Vietnam, and it feel like I left the youth and that kid in me over there. Because someday they keep calling me back, keep calling me, And, it hurts, man, But over the years, I wound up homeless, Now, I've been down here off and on since the 70s, right? I've seen this change. I've seen a lot of problems. I got 3 boys. I raised 3 boys downtown here on drugs, right? They went to school every day, right? Clean and everything, have no problem. They went to school every day. They graduated. One of them is working on a PhD now. See, I did all this right downtown here. Sometimes we get homeless, we got to pull up. Dad of them fucked up. So sometimes we got, but it's what you instill into a kid, how you raise a kid. Like I said, they come right down with the 9th Street School and all that, and you'd be surprised how they turn out. I got a son, Hines, we counted the 3rd, he do that DJ stuff, He'd be over here on the other side downtown doing shows, all kinds of stuff he's doing, the trip,
And your drug today is heroin?
Yeah, well, I was on heroin, right? I was on heroin off and on for years. But I came out this time, I went to a program. I took myself to a program. I went to a program. I stayed in the program for about, 14 months, right? And when I come out this time, somebody around people, they're smoking the fentanyl. So I started smoking the fentanyl. And that's what I'm doing now, is the fentanyl,
Be careful.
I know I had to be careful. I'm thinking I got to get back into a program. That's what I got to do. It's I don't know. I just turned 71 years. 71, man. I ain't think I'd live this long. I didn't think
Your years on Skid Row.
Yeah.
Your decades on Skid Row.
Yeah, but right. It's off and on, right?
But how have you spent the last 40 years or so?
Last 4 years, I spent right over here the Continental, right? Right before I went to the program, I was with Continental, right? I stayed there, I had a place, I had a basement. The basement, I have I had that. That's where I stayed at. And then I caught a case, a sales case.
You're selling drugs?
Yeah, selling drugs. I caught a case, So I went to court, and I went to veteran court. And by me being a veteran, they shot me to a program. So I went to the program and stayed there for about 15 months. And I come out this time and messed up. I was cool for a minute. You
Where,
know,
where are you sleeping now?
in my car. You
You're
know,
sleeping in your car.
I'm sleeping in my car with my dog. Yeah, yeah. I don't have no, I don't have no place to go. I was getting ready to check out. They got organization that the house. They put you up. I'm just trying to get some information on that and things. And
So looking back at your life, what were the pivotal points were probably Vietnam,
that would change.
losing your parents, Vietnam.
Right.
You had some big, you had some big pivotal points.
Right. I was in 85, right? 1985. I was down. I was down here, right, in 80. But I moved to Van Nuys, right? Nice pad, everything, right? I'm hustling, whatever. And I come down here one Saturday, and somebody snitched on me. Police take my keys, went in my trunk, and got, I don't know, about 10,000 codeines, number 4s, right? So I go to jail, for that. So while I'm in jail, I got the 2-bedroom apartment, right? 2-bedroom apartment, Van Nuys, there on Hasker. Motherfucker went in my house, man, and killed my lady, man. My older boy, he was like 6 at the time. And my middle boy, she had just had him. Like he was about 2 or 3 months old. She had just had him. And dude went in my house, man, and did that,
He did what?
Killed my woman.
Oh, he killed your woman.
My lady, you said, well, my
It
girl,
wasn't your
right?
wife, it was your girlfriend?
My girlfriend, right? We had just had a boy, right?
Mother of your son.
Pardon me?
The mother of your son.
Yeah, the mother of my son.
Wow.
I'm in jail, and a homicide come, and they tell me it's, that's a fucked up feeling. It was lucky I hadn't got sentenced, or none of the things. So they bailed me out, right? I get bailed out, because I had to go to child custody and all that kind of stuff. But this kind of effect, and stuff, that happened, right? But I took kids. I kept them kids, and I raised them. I brought them through that. You know what I'm saying? My old son, he remembered, because he fought with the guy. The guy threw him against the wall and told him, "Get your butt in the bedroom." He don't know he's scared. And when he come out, his mom. That's what he called his mother. She wasn't his mother. She raised him though. And he said, "My mom was dead." And I asked to see the pictures. They told me, "No, you don't want to see the pictures. It won't be a good idea." I said, "No, let me see the pictures." I saw the picture and that fucked me up. He had cut his throat. So tried.
What do you suppose that was over?
I don't know. He tried to rape her, but he didn't. She always said, "If anybody ever tried to rape me, they got to kill me." Well, I pray to God. I wish you, I wish you would just let him have it. You know what I'm saying? To die. I'd have took care of it. Yeah, things like that happen. But I kept my boys. So I kept my boys, kept them together, and everything.
What a life you lived.
Yeah. Well, I've been through some of the trauma, and stuff. But somehow, like I said, I came through, But then I go back. What I get, I go back using,
What's the most important thing you've learned in your life?
Like, most important thing I learned in my life is that life is beautiful, man. I learned the people people that come and that you keep. I learned one thing. I learned how to appreciate things. How to appreciate. Like I said, like if you've been around this world in life, man, wherever you're at, man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, right? You can have all kind of fun, and you go out and look at the mountains and all that. I learned how to appreciate life. You look at all these beautiful things that God put here for us. You believe in God, whatever, but He put all this natural, all this nice, everything nice. This is for you all here. And He asked for one thing. He asked for, and we can't even do that. That's love one another. You can't even do that. We can't even love one another. We got all this stuff, all this beautiful things. That's what I learned, you know. I learned how to respect life, how to respect the next man, you know. Although I grew up in the race area, right, you know, where they were hanging blacks and castrating blacks and all that, I don't have that prejudice. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to respect the next man. You know, you treat me, the way that you treat me, I treat you. You know, if it's a problem, I back up, go the other way. You know, if I run into any kind of, I learned that I run any kind of problem, I just turn and go the other way. You know, I just remove myself from that. You know.
All right, Hines, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Good story. I mean, I drive by. I can drive by. You know, maybe once a week or something. Just talk to you. You get more of it. You know, you ain't got to get.